Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be making some Jamaican stew beef in my kitchen. So if you are interested, keep on watching. So here I season my beef ahead of time. I like to marinate my beef overnight. But if you don't want to do that, you can always just season your beef, let it sit for a few hours, and then you cook it. So I season mine with some natural season and some powdered seasoning. So I will leave in the description box the ingredients that I use to season the beef. Also, when I season the beef, I added some browning. But don't add a lot of browning because you don't want your meat to be black, alright? So if you want yours to be a little darker, you can add more browning. But I will leave the amount that I use in the description box as well. So I will be using a Dutch pot for this recipe. I highly recommend a Dutch pot, but if you don't want to use a Dutch pot, you can always use a pot of your choice. So I added about 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil. So now I'm going to add my beef. So I will start preparing it on the stove top, and then I'm going to pressure it. So I'm just gonna add the beef into the pot. So if you like, you can just slow cook yours. But you know, in Jamaica, guys, we have to think about our gas. And also, when I use a pressure cooker, it cooks much faster, right? So I don't like to cook long. I don't like to stay in the kitchen long. I just like to prepare what I'm preparing and then I come out of the kitchen, alright? So after you finish adding your beef, you're going to stir it well. So I am using 2 pounds of boneless beef. If you want to use a bone in, you can as well. So even though I am going to pressure the beef, I like to start it in the pot, whereas it will develop more flavor. Even though it has been marinating overnight, you know, when I do this step, and it has a nice brown color, and it springs some juices off its own. So that's how I'm doing this step. Alright, so after I'm finished stirring it, I'm going to cover the pot for about 8 to 10 minutes just to bring out all the flavors together, and then I'm going to pressure it. But ensure that I put on some hot water because we're going to use hot water to pressure the meat. Okay, so this is how the meat looks after about 10 minutes. It's bring a lot of juices off its own. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add it straight into my pressure cooker. So while I'm adding it into my pressure cooker, I will not be adding any oil, because remember we add oil already. So I'm just going to throw it in the pressure cooker. So that's what I'm doing now. So after I add it into the pressure cooker, I am going to pressure it for about 30 minutes. So everyone pressure cooker is different. So maybe yours pressure like say 40 minutes, maybe yours even pressure 20 minutes or even 15 minutes. It all depends on the quality of the beef. You know, some beef tougher than some, so it varies, alright? So I'm just going to add some hot water on the beef. So my water is not very hot, like hot boiling water, but you know, it's hot enough so that it doesn't stop the cooking process. So after I finish adding the water, as I said, I'm going to cover the pressure cooker and let it pressure for 30 minutes. So after you finish pressuring the beef, after I'm finished pressuring the beef, I will return. So I like to pressure my beef like 80% because remember we're going to cook it down. So you know we don't want to pressure it too much, whereas you mash out in the pressure cooker, and then you know when it's time for us to cook it down, it's going to be like fully mashed out in the pot, and you know what I'm saying, guys. So I like to pressure it like 80% of the way. So after I finish pressuring the beef, I add it back into the same pot that I used to saute it in. I did not wash out the pot because remember that pot has all the flavors. So I added some Irish potato and carrot into the same bowl that I seasoned the beef in. I forgot to say, when I was adding the beef into the oil, I removed the natural seasoning because I did not want them to burn. So as you can see, my beef, it has a nice color. It's not too dark, it's not too light. So if you like yours to be brighter, darker I should say, you can add some more browning. So you can always use the water that is in the pot to rinse out the bowl, or if you want to add some fresh hot water in the bowl and rinse it out, you can as well. So after you finish adding the beef, you're going to give it a good stir. Mine was well seasoned, so I don't have to add any salt or anything to the pot now, but remember to taste it, alright? So here I'm adding some ketchup. The tomato ketchup is optional, so if you want to leave it out, you can. And remember, you can always add or take away from this recipe. Remember, it is your kitchen, so you can prepare it the way you like it, alright? So I'm just showing you the way how I do mine. Afterwards, I am going to cover the pot and let it finish cooking. I also added about a teaspoon or two of soya sauce when I was seasoning the meat as well. So you know soya sauce has a lot of salt, so I'm not going to add any salt. So if you like, you can always add like a teaspoon of sugar, but I'm not going to add any sugar to mine. So as you can see, the gravy starts thickens, so it has been cooking for about 15 minutes. So if at this point the beef is fully cooked, so if you want, you can always put out the flame if you love a lot of gravy, but I'm going to let mine dry out some more, right? Because I don't want a lot of gravy in mine. So as you can see, my beef is all done. It is looking so juicy and delicious. I will be having mine with some good old rice and peas. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more videos. If you are new, a special welcome to you. Please remember to hit the subscribe button. Also turn on all notifications so you not miss any of my upcoming videos. It's nice having you here. Please remember to share the recipe, guys. I really appreciate it. See you next time. Bye.